madman. You're a madman.
Google Plus and Stadia. You'll find plenty of both down there.
No man, YouTuber or streamer. No man threatens a messenger.
Bring videos of Johnny, yes, Papa, to my city steps? You insult our community? You threaten our people with another YouTube rewind video? Oh, I've chosen my words carefully, YouTube. Perhaps you should have done the same.
This is blasphemy. This is madness.
Madness? This is Rated G!
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 300. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for the Rated G Network, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Rated for Gamers. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan. Welcome to 2022, Robinson.
What's going on, man? We're back! We're
back, baby.
We took a little hiatus.
We did take a little hiatus. Had a nice little break. Hope everyone had a good holiday. I am excited. Can't believe it's episode 300. We got a lot of big stuff going on in this episode. I have to say that I had a good holiday break, spent some time with the family, got some good video gaming in, played some FIFA with my brother, watched all the holiday classics. So I'm feeling good, Dan. 2022 is going to be a good year, I'm thinking. Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm starting off 2022 with a bang, baby. I got the zombie apocalypse virus. I got COVID.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I wanna, it was kind of scary when it was like you test positive and it's like, what now?
Right. I can only imagine.
I was fine for a couple of days and then it just hit me like a ton of bricks. It was just like, bam.
Sure.
I'm sick. I was out. I've never been sick like that before in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like having the super flu. Like it was like the flu on steroids.
Yeah. Like, I remember talking to you on the phone, and I'm like, is this Dan or is this death? I mean, your voice was just like tore up.
I sounded like a zombie. Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, are you feeling better now? I mean, you're kind of through the worst of it, I think, right?
I'm at the tail end of it, right?
Okay.
Like I'm still wearing a mask around people just in case. Even though they said 5 days you should be good if you're vaccinated, which I am. But I'm just as a precaution. I have my tea, my Spider-Man cup.
Hey, there you go. Web slinger, baby. Here. Love it.
So I'm feeling good. But other than turning into a zombie, I had a good break.
Okay.
I got to see The Matrix 4.
Ooh, Matrix Resurrections. Yeah, still have yet to watch that.
And guess what? You could wait till you could wait till it's on TV.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying it's kind of and the low end.
It started off so it started off pretty good, right? It was like, okay, I see where they're going, and towards the middle, it was like, okay, I can see where they're going with this. I'm digging it. It makes sense, right? And then the ending was
okay.
Thumbs down.
Okay.
Wasn't big on the ending.
Yeah. Did it like say anything new? Because I mean, it's been like almost 20 years since any new Matrix material has come out. Was it needed? I mean, it wasn't needed, I guess, but was it like, were they trying to say something new?
wouldn't know about I think they were just working on nostalgia, right? Like it was I mean, if you follow, like, I think they had a PC game that came out right after the third movie.
There was
right?
the Matrix Online, which was like the MMO they had going for a couple of years, maybe like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, where Morpheus like went back to look for Neo, right? Like,
yeah,
like the storyline was that, and then he ended up dying. I think either Morpheus died in the game or like in the comics or whatever. All of that apparently maybe is canon, right?
Okay.
They don't really mention it.
Okay.
But it sort of makes sense. So, and I kind of like the premise of where they're going. I just don't like how they ended it. I mean, it's obviously they said that there will be a Matrix 5 in the works.
Yeah, see, that was I wanted to ask that, but also not wanted to ask that. And you're not going to revive a franchise without making more in the franchise. So I get it. Yeah.
I just didn't like. I didn't like sort of like the end, like not just like how they ended the movie, but just like the whole premise of how they were ending it. I thought that was like thumbs down.
Okay.
I got to watch. I binge watched a lot of stuff, especially being quarantined. You get to binge watch a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I know. Cleaning up
I got
that
to
Netflix
see
queue.
Cobra Kai season 4. I thought was awesome. I know you were okay about it. I thought it was great.
I mean, I enjoyed myself, right? Because they're all they all want to be there, right? All the actors want to be there. But I felt they're kind of running thin on storyline opportunities, and they keep going over the same stuff. And now who's going to turn good and who's going to turn bad? And it's like, well.
Oh, come on, man! They introduced new characters. I loved it.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I want Hilary Swank to come back. I want Hillary to come back. Come on. I want
the next Karate Kid to be involved in the thing. I mean,
she was part of Miyagi, though. Right?
She was trained by Mr. Miyagi. Yeah, I mean,
she's canon. She's canon.
Look, it comes out, I'll watch it because I'm already 4 seasons in. I'm not gonna say no if they bring back Hilary Swank or anybody else. I mean, well, I don't want to spoil anything about the end of it, but there are some other characters who are brought into the show for season 5, which I think is going to be the last one. I'm not entirely sure, but I think season 5 may be the end of it, which I think 5 seasons is good, right?
5 or 6. 5 or 6. I'm okay if they do a 6th season. I'm okay with that. I binge watched all 3 seasons of Lost in Space. Good show. I didn't think I would like it, to be honest, when I first started watching it.
The new one, not the one from the 60s, right?
No. The Netflix one. The Netflix one. Come on. And I got to watch anything that's called The Robinsons. Come on, right? Like, they're named The Robinsons.
Oh, that's right.
Robinsons
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Come on. Come on.
Fair enough.
So I thought that was awesome. And then Spider-Man No Way Home, right?
Oh, yes. So I did see Spider-Man. I did see Cobra Kai. I haven't seen Lost in Space. But I'll have to say, and, I know... I want to know your thoughts on it, but I thought Spider-Man No Way Home is, and it's MCU, even though it's a Sony movie, or whatever, it is tied into the MCU universe. I gonna put it in top 5 Marvel movies of all time, out of the 20 or so Marvel movies. Yeah,
100%.
Okay,
100%.
Loved the way they brought everything together, how they got the villains, which from the trailer that the villains from other Spider-Man franchises came in. Like, I liked how they did that. There were some surprises in there that I was a little shocked about. I was very happy to see.
I was not shocked. I was like, yes.
Okay. But still great though, right? Like, it's like, oh my God, the world is expanding.
We should have did a spoiler cast. We could talk. Go on and on about Spider-Man.
I know.
But this is episode 300. We have an awesome show this week.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're gonna talk about the PSVR2. Right, like that was officially. We know it's officially called PSVR2.
Yeah, big announcement.
And we're also going to talk about a new Mario Kart in the works. Mm-hmm. But before we get into any of that, let's begin with our game of the year for 2021.
Now, do you want to do a quick rundown of the nominees real quick? Our 10?
All right, go ahead. What were our 10 nominees?
Okay, so we got Guilty Gear Strive, which is nominated by you. Resident Evil Village, nominated by me. Life is Strange True Colors was a Dan nomination. Forza Horizon 5 is one I nominated. You put up Halo Infinite. I put up Deathloop. You put up Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. I put up Returnal. And you put up Psychonauts 2. And I put up It Takes Two. And honorable mentions or runner-ups to Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy and Metroid Dread. So those are our 10.
It was a tough decision, right? Because I had my picks, you had your picks.
I know.
And we came to a consensus that we're giving it to, drum roll please. All right, you just insert drum roll here.
Oh, I'm doing it on the table, baby. It's all live.
Psychonauts 2. Had to give it to Psychonauts.
Psychonauts 2. Fantastic story. I mean, just amazing.
Well, you know, I'm all about this. I'm all about the story in video games. I love story-based games. I love the mechanics. It's an action platformer. Come on, how can you not like that? Bring it back an old.
Yep. And like long development cycle. It was kind of rocky. Microsoft came in as the white knight, saved the day. Said, "Look, take all the time in the world, take all the money you need, make your baby," and well worth the wait. You know what? The first one came out in 2004, I think. This is now 15, 16, 17 years later.
Cult classic. I mean, you loved it too. Like you loved it so much, you dressed up as
I was Raz for Halloween 2014, and I wore the helmet to PAX, I think 2017.
You had the helmet. No. So you had the helmet, and you had like the knapsack with the badges.
Oh yeah. Back when the badges were still on there, they all fell off. But the dudes at the Double Fine booth are like, here, have a bunch of cool stuff. So they gave me some new patches to put on. Yeah, I mean, I love everything about it. The humor's great. How could we not give it to Psychonauts 2? We were both over the moon about it.
It came out of nowhere.
It did.
If you would ask me at the beginning of the year, what do you think would be in a run-in? I definitely wouldn't have picked Psychonauts 2. So playing it, I couldn't stop. I love the humor. I love the music, the sound effects. I love the art style, the art direction.
Yeah, it's very unique.
And I love the psychic powers, right? All the different. I mean, I have no connection to the first one. I played a little bit of it. Right?
Okay.
I own it on the original Xbox, and I own the limited run PS4 version. And I played the VR game,
the Rhombus of Ruin.
Yeah, on the PSVR. But I have no connection, no nostalgia for Psychonauts 2. So I came in, with a fresh set of eyes, and I love this world. It makes me want to go back and play the original.
I mean, you totally should. I mean, they really do a good job. Like the first couple levels are kind of, collectathon or whatever, but the story drives you. But then you get to when you're like playing as like the Godzilla of their world, and then you're going and like you're playing a board game against like a guy with a Napoleon complex. Oh my god, those are like some of the best levels. Or the Milkman Conspiracy. Oh, it's regarded as one of the best levels in that game.
Well, I will say, just to put a cap on it, Microsoft, you really need to put out a physical edition, because this is only only digital. We both played it on Games Pass. We both want a physical edition.
I can guarantee you it's coming. It has to. It has to.
Package it up with the first one, maybe, right?
1 and 2, sure. Oh well, yeah, that's right. You can't really do Rhombus of Ruin because it's a VR game. But sure, do like a double pack 1 and 2. Get a little resolution bump on the first one. Sure.
Okay. So that was the past. That was last year. Let's look forward to this year. Like, is there anything you're looking forward to?
Yes.
Like, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm super excited about Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Like,
okay.
I want a release date.
You want the open world? You want to know when the open world Kirby game's coming out?
Yes.
Okay.
It looks like an open world post-apocalyptic Kirby game.
I mean, it'll be new for the franchise, right? Taking it in a slightly different direction, right? Game mechanics wise and story wise. So,
who's making this game? Right? Wasn't it the Mario? Is it the Mario team that's making it? I forgot who's making this game. It looked.
Oh, I'm actually not sure. Yeah, I think it's internal, but I'm not entirely sure. But it does
And,
it does look kind of cool. So,
and I'm also looking for Splatoon 3, right? Like that's supposed to be coming out
sure.
later this year. So I liked the original Splatoon, I liked the idea, but they didn't have a lot of single player. That was their multiplayer game for the Wii U, right? And I loved Splatoon 2, and I got the DLC. I loved it so much I got the single player DLC.
Right.
So I'm definitely looking forward to playing Splatoon 3. But the big thing that I'm looking forward to is God of War Ragnarok.
Oh.
Can't wait for that.
Oh.
I'm gonna say it right now. This could be my game of 2022.
I need more teachable moments in the boat with Kratos and Atreus. Those are my favorite parts, and he's telling him the fables and cracking dad jokes. So I 100%.
What are you looking forward to in 2022?
Well, and we're gonna talk about it a little more in the second half of the show, but PSVR2, this is the year. All right. And we'll get into a little bit more about that, but they dropped a big bombshell at the beginning of this year. We knew about the controllers, right? The kind of Valve Indexy Oculus style, like hand controllers or whatever, right? A lot better than the PS3 wands with the little balls on the end. All right. So I wanna see what the game's lineup is. We do know
you don't like the Moves controllers. I like the Move controllers. You like the Move controllers?
They're okay, but they could be a lot better. And I think I mean they were serviceable for the games that they were involved in, but it was a little it was last generation technology they were using for then current gen VR support. But looking forward to that. Starfield. The new Bethesda open world game.
November. It's coming out in November.
Yep. It could be very good. They said it's going to be a lot of, I think, on land or on planet exploration, which I think is kind of cool. I want to see what they do with that. It's going to be a lot of crazy mechanics in there.
Skyrim in space.
Yeah. It's very much being pinned as that. So that's going to be. So what did you do last year? Oh, I played Starfield. And everyone will be like, I get it, because it's huge. It's going to be crazy. And this is the time for the Metroid Prime 4 announcement. It's going to happen.
You think we'll get an announcement?
Well, it had
do you think it's coming out this year? Come on, feet to the fire. You think it's coming out this year?
I don't. But all we have is an animated JPEG. It needs to come out this year. They need to have an announcement about it this year. That we need some sort of actual footage. And look, I get Bandai Namco didn't, they kind of dropped the ball. Nintendo internally saw it, said this is not what we're looking for. We're going to go back to Retro Studios and get them on board, which is great. But that was like 2018, maybe early 2019, and we still haven't seen anything from it. So
I'm gonna do a prediction. We're gonna get Breath of the Wild 2 before we get Metroid.
You're probably right. Well, they had a ton of time to work on it. They're basing it off the previous engine, and we've already seen a lot about it. That may be a November game for sure. And I think you're right. I don't think Metroid Prime is necessarily going to make it out this year, but it has become the butt. It is the internet meme of video games right now. When is Metroid Prime 4 coming out? It's like, Christ. Like, come on. Nintendo's got to show us something. Otherwise, I'm going to start to think this game doesn't exist and in that it's never coming out. And then I'm going to cry in the corner. So I can't let that happen, Dan. I need more Metroid. Like, Dread was great and all, don't get me wrong. We nominated it, it was a big game. We had it in the runner-up at least. It's a great game.
All right.
I need my 3D Metroid.
All right, so let's talk about games that are actually coming out this month. The notable games coming out this month. And let's start with Monster Hunter Rise. It's a PC release on January 12th. And before I get into the rest of the games, all the games that we pick that are notable games coming out this month or for the next month, we get those games from the Game Informer video game release date list. So if there's any games that we missed, always let us know, and we'll include it in the following show. So we got God of War We just talked about the original God of War from 2018. That's coming out on PC. Gets a PC release January 14th.
Yep. Yeah, Sony's really making that drive. You know, they're trying to get into the PC space. We had Ghost of Tsushima's on PC now, and Death Stranding's on PC. Now God of War. Just waiting for that Uncharted, right? I think that's one of the only ones they didn't do yet, right?
Well, stay with me. We'll talk about Uncharted in a minute.
Okay.
But they did say there's rumors out there that we're going to get a Last of Us director's cut, and that may be coming to PC too, right? So we got Windjammers 2 coming out for the PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, Stadia, and PC January 20th.
Very
excited. Believe it's coming out on Stadia.
Yeah.
Coming out on Stadia. Like,
I
wow.
know. I know.
That's
It's the butt of the internet right there. They finally got a game.
I actually pre-ordered my Windjammers 2 for the Switch for limited run a couple of weeks ago.
Nice.
So, got that. We got Pokemon Legends, right? That's coming out on the Switch
Arceus,
January 28th. And Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection coming out on PS5 and PC January 28th.
I should have read further down the list then.
Yes. You spoke too soon. So this is cool. I'm definitely getting this. They're not gonna have an Uncharted Legacy of Thieves. They're not gonna have an Uncharted director's cut, because that seems to be like the thing for this generation, the director's cut.
Yeah.
Right. So, but I'm definitely want to get this. I already beat Uncharted 4. I think Uncharted 4. The more and more I think about it, I think I love Uncharted 4 more than any other Uncharted game.
Sure.
And
yeah.
I already beat it on my PS5 when I got my PS5, and I may beat it again when I get to the Legacy of Thieves collection. So
do you think Golden Abyss is going to be on this collection? Is it going to be complete? Will it be all 5 games, all 6 games technically, because there was like that expansion to 4 that was its own thing. Do you think it's going to be a complete collection?
I don't know if Golden Abyss would be in here, only because on the Vita, you had to swipe on the back for certain things. I don't know if they would do like you got to swipe in the front instead.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. It does have swipe control on the pad. You could do that, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. That's interesting. If that would make this even more compelling for me to buy if they did have it. But I doubt it. I'll be honest, I doubt it.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna have it. So, Dave, it's that time of the show.
Oh.
As we always try to start the show, but epically fail. What have you been playing?
300 episodes, and we're keeping it strong, Dan. We have not stopped to fail about talking about the games we've been playing. Well,
I think we started the show with the games we've been playing.
And that was
like
probably the last time.
Like twice.
Yeah.
Twice. Yeah.
Well, at least we're consistent.
Yeah. If you're a long-time listener, then you'll know this. If you're just tuning in, when we first started doing the show, we always said we're going to try to start the show with games that we were playing, and something would always come up that we would start the show and not talk about the games we were playing.
And
so
as we always further and further,
as we always try to start the show, but epically fail. What have you been playing?
Well, Halo Infinite. A lot of Halo Infinite over the break. I am level 70 in multiplayer, which isn't a skill level. It is just a time accrued. Every time you do a challenge, every time you play around, you get experience points. And I made it to level 70 out of 100 in this battle pass, which is awesome. What's not awesome is that 90% of the stuff that you get in the battle pass is locked behind a $10 or $9 if you have Games Pass price point. And that's not to even mention all the other stuff that you can buy separately for anywhere from $10 to $20 for skins and charms and whatever else. But yeah, I love my Halo Infinite. I play a lot. Got a bunch of people that we play with, so we usually have at least 4 to 6 people playing online, and it's fantastic. Also, I dug into because Games Pass has a ton of stuff on there. The Record of Lodos War. Deedlit and Wonder Labyrinth.
Never heard of that. What is that?
It's a long title. It's fairly new. Record of Lodoss War is an anime from late 90s, early 2000s, maybe, I think. And this is a Metroidvania. It's a Metroidvania, fantasy-based Metroidvania. You play as a woman who gains special powers. There's like fire and water, fire and ice. And there's like red and blue stuff across the level. You have to switch between the different powers to kind of get through certain sections. Certain enemies are only affected by certain types of magic. You do get power-ups, and you do have a whole like inventory system. You can upgrade your character with different weapons and armor. It's pretty cool. I am definitely digging it. It is very much. It feels just like Symphony of the Night when you end up playing that game. So.
Oh wow, that's high praise. That's high praise. Yeah. I may want to check it out.
It's good. It's good, and it's free on Games Pass. And the thing that I've been playing that you will be so happy for me. You're gonna go ahead and give me a virtual hug for this because it's been way too long. I think I said all the way back when we started the show, you were like, you need to play this game, and I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna play it for next episode, and I think I said that for like 7 episodes. Life is Strange.
Nice. It's about time.
I know.
About time.
I know. And you were right.
How do you like it so far?
You were right, Dan. You were right. It resonates 100%. All of the kind of the nerd and bully culture and all the stuff that kind of we grew up with. It hits home. And there's a lot of tough choices in that game. There's a lot of things that I'm interested to see how they turn out. I have some ideas. Hopefully I'm wrong, because I feel like there's going to be some dark turns in the game. But
it gets dark. It gets dark.
Okay.
And you think that's the end, and that's not the end, and you have to make a choice.
Okay.
And depending on like how you played the game would determine like how hard that choice will be.
Okay. Well, I'm at chapter 2. I'm at the train tracks with my friend with the blue hair, and we're chilling. So that's where I'm at. I know there's.
You got a lot.
Chapters.
You got a lot.
I got a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So how about you? What have you been playing?
So I've also been playing Halo Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
I've just been going around randomly, like, just like, a Far Cry game. Liberating Outpost, and I put it
You've
down,
been doing
come back.
Player stuff. Mm-hmm.
Liberate Outpost, come back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they purposely do it to where like you gotta go all the way over here for this story mission, and then you gotta go all the way over here for this story mission.
Yeah. They make you explore the whole island or the whole part of that ring. Yeah,
so it's like I have no choice if I want to get over there, and it's not like it's a straight shot. It's like you got to go there, and you got to go up a mountain, and you got to go around the river.
Right.
So I run into enemies all the time, and it's like, well, since I'm here, I might as well like destroy everybody. And then
Oh, God.
And then I take a break. So that's pretty much how Liberating Outpost, take a break. That's what I've been doing.
Have you beaten it yet or no?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm still. I feel like I'm still early because I have to sort of hit all these beacons, but they're so spread out. I keep getting interrupted, and it's just like, all right, well, since I'm here, I'm just going to destroy you guys, and then I take a break because it took me like 20 minutes.
So I'm gonna give you a little bit of a tip, and you can go back after you beat the game, but once you complete the thing that you're doing and you get into the final spire, it locks you into like a linear set of like 4 missions, and then you beat it, and then you can go and do whatever you want afterwards. But once you're in there, and you're kind of locked into that bit.
And that's what I want. I just want to be in there.
You're gonna get what you want. You're gonna get the big battle at the end. You're gonna get everything you want. Yeah, it's a nice little set of missions. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I've been playing the Gunk. Right, that came out. That was one of the last games that came out last year. And it was on Games Pass. It really, I mean, you upgrade your arm. You're like you play as a female character, and it's like you two female characters fly to this planet, and there's a lot of gunk and your arm can, you have like a robotic arm, and you can upgrade your arm to do different things, and you're just really vacuuming the gunk and trying to figure out the puzzle of how to get out of the area, because you're going deeper and deeper into the planet.
So you're Captain Planet is what you're saying? You're cleaning up the Earth?
I'm the female version of Captain Planet.
Captain Planet.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. There's certain it's like I have like a taser, right? Like where I can fire a projectile, but it doesn't do anything. Like that really, I'm still trying to figure out what's it for, because it doesn't do anything. Like you got little enemies, you like hit it with your projectile, it doesn't do anything. I got to suck the enemy and then throw it, and that's how you kill the enemies. Okay. So the gunk, it's one of those games where you just put on a podcast, right, and try to figure out the puzzle, right? You're cleaning up the gunk and you're trying to figure out how to get out of this area. So I like it. I recommend it. I would say it's, I wish they had a little bit more money in development time behind it to perfect some of the mechanics. Okay. I feel like, some of the platforming is not one-to-one, and it's not really tight enough. And it could have been a little bit more to the game, right? But I like the game. Give it a chance.
All right, we'll do.
I've been playing my Switch. Been playing Hunt Down. I got I bought Hunt Down. I think I got it from Limited Run. I didn't get the one with the little action figure, like a little 16-bit. It feels like a Super Nintendo game, 16-bit.
Oh yeah,
retro punk style, cyberpunk.
It's got some RoboCop vibes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And you have all the, you got weapons, and you just side scrolling, you're just trying to kill all the enemies. I really got into it, especially when you get to I'm at a boss that I can't figure out how to beat him right now. So I took a little break on that. I just took a little break on that like earlier today. And I've been playing Judgment on my PS5. I have the PS4 version. I don't have the PS5 version. Not that much of a difference, to be honest. Right. A little bit graphical bump, I think. But I played Lost Judgment, and I loved Lost Judgment. Right? I played it last year, but that's a game that came out. I think that came out in 20. What did Lost Judgment came out? Did that come out in 2019?
I thought it was
no 20. I mean, 2020.
Wasn't it 2021? It was 2020. Okay.
I think Lost Judgment came out in 2020. I could be wrong, but
I don't think it was 2019. Yeah. It's pretty new.
No. Or maybe Lost Judgment came out this year. I mean,
I thought it came out this year.
Yeah. I love Judgment. Well, we stay in this year. We're still in 2021 mode. You mean last year?
Last year, as in 2021. Yeah. Yeah, it came out September 24th of last year. Okay.
Yeah. Loved Lost Judgment. Thought it was great. It had some issues, but I thought the story compelled me enough to want to finish it. Right. Judgment, I see, obviously I'm playing the first game. I feel like I'm playing the prequel. I could see where they improved upon it in Lost Judgment, right? Just as far as in Lost Judgment, you have the skateboard, because in Judgment you're running everywhere and it's taking forever to get to different places. They do have taxis where you pay, you could pay to get a taxi to get around, but they don't have enough taxis everywhere for it to be worth it. Right? So when you're in Judgment, when you're going around, you have random thugs that'll just pick a battle with you, right? In Lost Judgment, you can see them on the map where those random thugs are, if you want to try to avoid them. Because I hate getting into random battles, and I'm like, you're taking me away from the main story. But you do need those random battles to collect money, right? Because you need money, because you gotta buy power-ups of food. So when you get into a thing where you're going to fight and you're locked into a boss battle and you're losing energy, you got to be able to refill your energy.
You need that chicken. You need that chicken.
So I love Lost Judgment better than Judgment, but I'm still in it. I do want to finish the story. Again, I love my story-based games. So and you have it. I recommend it. I say play it after Life is Strange.
I do own it. I may be able to do that. There's definitely a lot of stuff in the backlog I'm trying to tackle among playing Halo, but yeah, I can definitely put it in the mix for sure.
That's what I've been playing. Why don't we take a break? And when we come back, we'll get into the top gaming news of the last few weeks. let's get into the top gaming news of the last few weeks. Let's start with our lead story, CES, right? It just happened. And not a lot of video game related stories come from CES. I think I know before there was E3, we used to get video game announcements at CES. And
they were the only game in town, really.
It was the only thing in town. Right. We got a look at the Xbox with The Rock, right? The original Xbox that was at CES. People think that was at E3. That was at CES.
Right. I
think it was like in 99 or 2000.
Yeah, so, and there was all that weird MTV stuff, right? They were all kind of tied into that.
Yeah. So it's always a little sprinkle of stuff. We got the PS5 logo at CES.
Oh yeah, it broke the internet. Wow, everybody! Wow, everyone was over the moon about. They changed a 4 to a 5. That graphic designer had a very easy week. Guys, I got it. They went into the boardroom. Boom, PS5. Man's a genius.
So
$1 million.
They did it again.
I know.
They did it again. Oh. We have officially announced with the logo the PlayStation VR2. But we did get the controllers, right? They're called PlayStation VR2 Sense controllers.
Yep.
So the next generation for VR gaming for PS5. And this thing sort of seems to be like a beast, right? Like if you look at the specs for this next gen, like this thing is not going to be cheap.
It is very comparable to what is out there now. I think in a lot of cases it's better than what's out there now in the PC space, where the OG one was kind of the budget VR headset. They were just getting into it. All the PC ones were better with the exception of a few. This is this is going to be like top dog. I feel like it's going to be pricey. We didn't get the price on it, but we can kind of go over some of the specifics. I guess we could just jump into it, right? Because
just jump into the specs.
Okay, so we got it's 4K, HDR support, OLED display, right? The OG one
had an OLED, right?
It did. Surprisingly, out of everything else that was kind of cut to keep the price of it down, they did have an OLED display, which is awesome. 110-degree field of view, which is very comparable, if not exactly the same as the high-end PC ones. I think the index is 109, so it's right in there. Foveated rendering, which is a little bit new to me, this tech, but basically it'll track your eyes. And, if you're playing let's say Death Stranding or whatever, and you're looking at the mountains ahead of you, it'll render those in full resolution and all that. The things to the side, and especially the things behind you, either won't render or render in a lower resolution because you're not really looking at it. So it doesn't need to be in high res. So that'll definitely save on a lot of computation time.
That's what Death Stranding 2 is going to be. It's going to be a VR game. And we're going to be literally delivering packages in VR. That's what we're going to be doing.
That's actually a question I want to ask. Do you think a lot of these games that are out now will get VR versions with PSVR2?
Well,
an update.
I don't know about an update. Maybe newer games coming out, right? Will be. I mean, it's like they did it with the Wipeout Omega collection.
I know, but we said VR.
But we said it last generation, right? You get the Switch version if you want the portable aspect of it. You get the Xbox version if you want the best looking, the best that it can run, best it can look. And you get the PlayStation version because you want the VR, you want to get the VR support, right?
Yeah,
so I think future games can run that. But yeah, I was just, you said Death Stranding, and I was like, that would be.
I think they may do an update for the previous version. I bet they'll do an update too.
Death Stranding 2. We are the FedEx.
We
are the UPS messenger.
I mean, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. So some other stats to it, because it's 4K, each eye gets 2000 by 2040 resolution, which is amazing. Frame rates either 90 or 120 hertz, which is what they're kind of shooting for, which is awesome. Headset-based controller tracking, or headset-based tracking. So it doesn't use cameras anymore. There's no room sense. There's no eye toy. There's no camera that is needed in this case. It'll
God.
use, yeah, it'll use inside out tracking. So it's basically like where you are, and then sensors inside the machine will kind of calculate. And which could be the most controversial thing is the thing's gonna vibrate. It's gonna go burr when certain things happen in certain games.
It's going to give you a headache. That's what it's going to do. It's going to give you a headache.
They got to be careful with this, right? Because VR already causes nausea, headaches. You can only play it for a certain amount of time for a lot of people, right? It doesn't really bother me. I could be in that thing all day, but I get it. It's very like, oh my God, I have to take a break. So I feel like it's going to be pretty like low powered vibration, but I think it'll be cool. Like if you pick up a weapon and it's like you swing it at something and it hits a rock and like you get a little bit of a vibration in like the headset, or you get like hit with a bullet or something, you kind of feel it. Like that could be kind of cool.
I think this is a feature I hope that you can be able to turn off. Right?
I bet.
Settings. I hope so.
100%. Yeah. Because I don't think a lot of people are going to be about it.
If you're playing a first person shooter, the last thing I want is, to be getting hit with bullets, random bullets in my head is rattling.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm not going to want that.
Yeah. It could definitely be a little bit much. So.
Yeah.
It also has headset support, so you can like plug in a headset like you could with the other one. And it is not wireless. We know now
it's only one wire.
Cord. Single cord. Yeah, single
USB-C.
Mm-hmm.
USB-C, I think. Yeah. So one wire.
Which is I think the best we can ask for right now. I would love to have completely wireless, charging station and all that. That would be amazing, but at least this won't be a breakout box, 29 HDMI cables, 39 USB cables to charge the damn thing, and just, all sorts of mess. So very, very happy about that.
But what announcement? What announcement for new hardware can go without the software?
That's right.
And we got a glimpse of a new game, Horizon Call of the Mountain, a new Horizon game, which is kind of crazy, but it kind of makes sense because that's a beautiful world, right?
It is.
And it looks like it's a first person view, and you get to see the whole.
I think it has to be, yeah.
Yeah, and you get to see the whole landscaping, right? Like, and you get to see the long neck dinosaur. Like that's crazy. Now you're not playing as Aloy, who's the main protagonist in the mainline games, but apparently she's in the game somehow, and that's all they gave us. They didn't give us any more.
So it'll be like a side story to the main game, which will be cool. I don't think it'll be, full on 60-hour adventure like the original is, but it'll be a good piece to kind of sell you on the hardware and say, look, here's something, here's a AAA game that you can play now that'll be like out when the system launches. So now, do you think, here's the big question, is this a 2022 or a 2023 release? That's the question.
I think they want it to be a 2022, but they even mentioned it sort of, I think it was like maybe an interview at IGN or something like that, where, the chip shortages this should be the last year of chip shortages.
Right. Yeah.
Hopefully by early next year, late this year, early next year, they can get that under control. They really want to because this is a PS5 only system. This is not something that you can play with your PS4. They need to get PS5s in hands of more people and not scalpers for, because, you look at the specs, this is maybe just as expensive as a PS5, right?
Oh, it's going to be minimum $500. Yeah, I can guarantee you, because this is just as good, if not better, than the Valve Index, which is one of the best ones out there.
So they need to get more PS5s out in the hands of people. So
well,
I think this
you're not wrong, because you can't use it standalone. You need a $400 to $500 PS5.
So I think this could be. I kind of want this to be a 2023 thing. Maybe earlier in the year, like maybe just like the Switch came out like in March of like 2017, right? Like maybe we could do that. Maybe that can we can have this in like March of 2023.
Right. But if that's the case, and I agree with you on the chip shortage, you know, it affects everything, right? It's obviously going to affect the production of the PS5s and all that. Why wouldn't they wait till E3 and make a big splash at E3? Because now we know, like, oh my God, we have all of this. So all they can really show at E3 is the price, which will be big, and here's some more games that are coming out.
I'll tell you why. I can tell. That's easy. That's easy. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Because Sony is not at E3. They never go to E3.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they do their own thing. They always have a conference. Just because they're not at that particular day and date in Los Angeles, they do their own thing.
They can wait. They can wait till whenever to do a big promotion for whatever product they want to do.
Well, I mean, how are you gonna get the news cycle around that time? Because everyone's going to be talking about all the other stuff that came out around E3, you know, and PS5 is going to be like, here's the PSVR2. So we saw that already.
Maybe promote the PSVR2 at the Game Awards, like in December of next year, and it's saying it's coming out in first quarter of 2023.
Yeah, I mean, it is a big conference, you know. You're right. They haven't done E3 in the last 2 years. But I don't know. I would have. I mean, I love that the info's out, but I think because they put it out now, which is me assuming that it's going to come out like for the holiday 2022 this year. I bet you.
I certainly think they'll try. Mm-hmm. I certainly think they'll try. Mm-hmm. But if we are the same way now, then as far as PS5s just can't stay in stock. You can't get them in stock in stores.
Right.
It's just so hard to see them actually try to put this out at the end of the year.
Yeah. Well, I gotta start production
you need
soon.
You need PS5s to play this.
I know.
And they want this to sell well, don't they?
They do. I mean, obviously they do. Yeah. So, the original one sold pretty well, but this one they want. I mean, they would love a 1-to-1 attach rate. They would love 100% attach rate on this, but if they can get 60-70% of the gaming market, like I would consider that a success.
I would say if they could sell like 2-3 million, that would be great too. Like because the original one is about I think 3 million to date, maybe 4 million. I could be off, but that's still not a big attach rate, you know, because it's over 110 million sold.
Right, it's less than 10%, I think. Yeah, which is not great.
Yeah. But Sony is always innovative, right? Mm-hmm. Like I always love that about Sony. They always try to innovate, right? I love the PS5 is big, but it looks like a tower. But they're trying to be innovative and futuristic.
Mm-hmm. It looks like a man in a collared suit. Look, I can see it back there, Jen. It's a man in a collared suit.
I want to know. I can't wait to see how the PSVR2 looks, right? Because Sony is always known for, you know, how their products look, right? Even going all the way back to the Walkman. Oh, it's always, you know, stylish and stuff. So I want to know what the headset looks like.
Sure.
So, well, I do got more Sony news. Sony apparently is also working on a 3D scanner that will allow users to put real-world items into video games. And I think this goes hand in hand with the VR, if you ask me. I don't think this is something that you would use like in a regular game. Like, oh, and I'm in Uncharted, I'm out of bullets, and you scan bullets or fake bullets or something like that. I think this is more so it's something that you would scan in VR, maybe for some augmented reality or something like that along those lines, where you could scan your room, scan a TV, or you know, like Animal Crossing, right? Like you could put real world items into a game, like a TV, because you want to have a TV in your virtual room or something like that.
Yeah, there could be some neat applications for this for sure. Maybe even like an Astrobot sandbox type thing, and you can bring in stuff that's like around you. That would be kind of cool. I will say this isn't their first time doing this, though. If you remember the iToy, and they had a card game that it didn't work out the best, but you would kind of angle the camera down, and you would place the things on a grid. And I think it was like a 3x3 grid, and each like card would bring up like a creature that you would use in the game. The only problem was the camera resolution wasn't that great, and you could just make your own cards and print them out because they had things you were supposed to buy to like give you creatures in the game and all that. So people were able to spoof that pretty early. But you know, doing a thing that doesn't necessarily affect gameplay competitively or whatnot, or you can like scan a thing into a single player game just as like kind of like a neat aside. You can bring in, I don't know, little figurines of Kratos or whatever else, and then they like come in the game and work in a certain way. Like that could be kind of neat. I could see them doing something cool with that. But that means you got to get a camera on top of everything else, right? Something's got to scan it.
And they'll have like a 3D scanner that you'll use to scan real world items.
Yeah.
You just have to hook it up, and I'm sure it won't be portable. It won't be like wireless.
No.
Yeah. So I think that's a cool idea, and I think that again, I think that goes hand in hand with like the VR portion of what they're trying to do.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
But it's just the patent. So we know they patent everything. That's something that we may not see for a long time, or if we see it at all. Mm-hmm. Let's stick with Sony, right? Mm-hmm. So we talked about Days Gone, and a lot of people talked about it was sort of a failure, but it was more of a critical failure. People didn't really, it wasn't like Last of Us or Uncharted or God of War. It didn't review highly, right? It didn't get 10s or 9s. It was more of like a 7. People thought it was okay. It was good. I think mainly people over zombies, right? Because it's mostly like a zombie game, or hordes of zombies. I like the premise. I love the idea. I think it came out maybe about 2 years too late, right?
I mean, everyone was over the Walking Dead and all that by that point. Yeah. But
using zombies as a weapon, I think, is sort of like an awesome mechanic that you can do in the game, like a strategy you can do in the game. I just think it came 2 years too late.
Sure.
But it wasn't a failure. I mean, there's some conflicting reports as far as how many copies sold, but because there were reports that it sold maybe over 9 million copies. All of this came because Ghost of Tsushima sold about 8 million copies, and it's a critical darling. It's one of Sony's new IP that people
amazing.
love. Yeah. Right, we gave it Game of the Year. We gave it Game of the Year.
That's right.
In 2020.
That's right.
But Days Gone just seems like a failure. But no matter I know there are conflicting reports on how much it sold, but it definitely sold well enough to deserve a sequel. But it's not getting a sequel.
Right.
I think that's sort of disappointing because they looked at it as a failure. Because I think Sony's strategy is more so going after big critical bangers that sell well, not just games listen. Cash is king, right? If it sold 20 million copies and it still got a 7, we would probably get a Days Gone 2.
Right.
But it sold just as well as their other games, which financially does well, but it just didn't get that Metacritic score.
Well,
I think Sony's really going for.
It's honestly the approach that Netflix has. And I don't get it because there's a lot of great shows that Netflix is just like, nope. And like, I know this is anecdotal, but like, everyone I talk to or whatever. What's that?
Castlevania on Netflix.
Exactly. Everyone was loving it. It was great. It was one of the best video game adaptations to, to anime. Everybody loved it. They wanted to see the story continue. Season 1 was good. Season 2 was great. Season 3 also really good, and then they're like, nah, we're just going to go ahead and cancel it. They do that with a ton of their shows, and I know that people were watching them and people were talking about them. There's chatter on the internet. It's getting the hype. People are into it, and Netflix is like, nope. So there's some number behind the scenes. They get all the data. They have tons of data, and they look at it and they go, it didn't meet our metrics. And I feel like Sony's in that same boat, right? It's a game that, and you're right, commercial success trumps critical success. We definitely know that from all the licensed properties, right? Every time they make a new Spider-Man game or a James Bond game or whatever, they pay a ton of money for the license. They make an average game, but it sells really well because it's tied into the movie and it comes out the day and date when the movie comes out, and a ton of people buy it because they want to play a Spider-Man or James Bond or whatever, and they keep putting them out over and over again. Maybe not so much now, but that was the thing for a while. So if it sells well, it doesn't matter, you know? So I guess their like threshold wasn't met in that way, even though it looks by all accounts that it did do well, just not well enough. I never played it though, so I can't really say one way or the other.
Come on, we got a Knack 2. We can't get Days Gone 2. We got Knack 2.
Well, we got Knack 2 because the developer wanted to put Knack 2 out. They basically memed on us.
The developer once they did a Days Gone 2 pitch in it that went away.
I know.
Apparently they did a Resistance open world pitch to Sony as well, right? So maybe that's something that we'll get in the works for this generation.
Was that a good series? I never played any of the Resistance games.
It was their answer to Halo. Was it Resistance? Yeah, that was like sort of the answer to Halo, right? Their first.
Well, there was Resistance and Killzone. There was the two. Yeah. And I know Killzone is good, but
Resistance 1 and 2, I think I played 1. Mm-hmm. I haven't played the second or the third. I do own all 3. Mm-hmm. The Resistance on the Vita was awesome. Mm-hmm. Like that was one of the best Vita games you can play. Mm-hmm. 1 and 2, I think, were critically good. I think 3 didn't do so well, right? Mm-hmm. And then they focused on Killzone, which sold well on the PS4. Just didn't get the critical. You know, I think it got like a 7.5 to an 8.
Really? Because that's one of the best looking launch titles of like any game ever. Like that really kind of pushed the limits of what the PS4 could do, and still looks good to this day. You go back and play Killzone 4. Come on now. Or Shadowfall, or whatever it's called.
We haven't got a new Resistance game, and we haven't got SOCOM, right? SOCOM was a PlayStation game as well.
Where's Siphon Filter? Where's that?
Siphon Filter, yeah. Right? Siphon Filter we haven't got since the PS2. Yeah, the PS2 era.
Yeah. Like,
So Sony's sitting on some first-person shooters that they can put out, that they can put in development. Mm-hmm. And I know, I mean, I didn't put this as one of the stories. They're obviously active development, like 22 games. So maybe one of the 22 games could be one of either Killzone, Resistance, or SOCOM, or Siphon Filter. You never know.
They got options, man. They got options.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's shift focus. You talked about Sony going to E3. We talked about E3. Now, E3 is officially not happening, in-person E3, not happening in 2022.
Right.
They've come out with a statement that's saying that it will be an online only again because of COVID-19 surges.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which
the Unicron variant is like through the roof, man. Like they're running out of Transformers to name these viruses after.
You know, I'm just waiting.
I saw your face. You're like, I'm not about that joke.
I'm waiting for Megatron. The Megatron variant.
All right. I mean, you have to do that, right? I'm surprised at any event. I'm surprised that PAX East hasn't been canceled.
Not sold out. It's not sold out. So.
Yeah, and there's a reason. They should just cancel it. Like the Omicron variant, Omicron, however you want to say it. I don't know. I don't care. It's deadly. Well, it's not as deadly as the Delta variant or the wild type variant, but it does spread very quickly, and people who aren't vaccinated get it a lot worse. It's still a concern. It's a health concern. You got to err on the side of caution. They did it last year. It was completely virtual, and it was fine. You know, I think they worked it out from the year before. They figured out how to do it right.
Well, Jeff Keighley just said, he tweeted that Summer Games Fest 2022 is a thing that's still happening, right?
Sure.
And I'm sure we'll have that, and people. I don't want E3 to go away. That's my frustration, right? Like even before they canceled E3, Jeff Keighley said 2 years ago that he wasn't going to be a part of it, right? I guess they just have different ideas of how they want to present it. And
Yeah.
I don't want it. I just don't want it to go away. I don't want it to be spread out throughout the year. I like to have the Super Bowl of video games where we get these mega announcements.
Yeah, I mean,
and having
it's
like
the
I just don't
spectacle
want
is
it to
nice.
go away.
The
Yeah.
spectacle is nice. Yeah. The sad news is, though, every time we have a new, now we have the winter thing with the Game Awards, Summer Games Fest. PlayStation's out. They're kind of doing their own thing. There's the Kind of Funny showcase. Everyone's kind of doing these smaller things. So it is slowly eroding away, sadly. We're not getting the big mega event. Or, I mean, it was kind of the thing year after year. That was the place you would go to for all the new announcements. And then you'd get maybe demos a little bit later, and then the game would come out that fall or next year.
I think, I don't know if it's GDC or DICE Awards, but one of them is still in person. So I think the DICE Awards is still in person. Or GDC. I think GDC is still in person, and DICE Awards is going to be online.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I think there's going to be a lot of virtual attendees to that event.
But the whole purpose of GDC, the whole purpose of E3 is behind the scenes for networking purposes, right?
Yeah.
For devs to collaborate, and that's how technology and talent spread, where you go behind closed doors, right? So that's hard to do virtually.
It is.
So,
yeah, you make a better impression in person for sure. It's different for sure.
Just different. But I look forward to seeing. I hope we have a virtual E3, and I hope it's good. So, and I hope Microsoft, since Sony's probably not going to be a part of it, I hope Microsoft and Nintendo chime in and they're a part of it too. Because as soon as Nintendo or Microsoft pull out,
that's kind of it.
It's over. It's over. Yeah. All right, some sad news. NFL legend John Madden passed away a couple of weeks ago.
King of the turducken, and one of the most entertaining sports commentators in football. He was a player, I think, way back in the day. He was a coach.
So he was a player. He was a player that never made it because of injury. He got injured, so he actually played.
Okay.
He is the highest winning percentage coach in NFL history. People forget he won like a couple of Super Bowls, and he has the highest winning percentage of any coach with over 100 games coached. So, and then so a generation he's known as a coach, another generation he's known as a commentator,
right.
And then to another generation he's known as the video game.
Yeah, he's the football guy. That's crazy.
So I just remember growing up, like, my older cousins, they always wanted to play Madden on Genesis. Like, Madden was like it.
Yeah.
I own a lot of Madden games. I'm not good at, I love football. I'm just not good at playing football.
Same.
Video games.
Same.
So I'm not like, I was never like a Madden guy. I'm a NBA 2K guy because I want to play basketball. I'm a basketball player at heart too.
Yeah.
So, but his name will live on, and he will be synonymous for a whole he's just synonymous with video games. Like, you're playing Madden, it's a football game. You're playing a football game.
Right. Yeah, they are. And it's sad that Madden died. Legacy, 20 years going strong and all that, but it couldn't it couldn't go any other way, right? Because everything comes in threes, or I guess now it comes in fours. So after Madden died, we found out that Betty White almost made it to 100. I love Betty White. She's awesome. She looked like my grandma. Right? It's very much, very, 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 very similar. I loved her on Golden Girls. She did a ton of amazing stuff. She hosted SNL one year. It's amazing. Love her. She passed.
She was supposed to co-host New Year's Eve. I forgot with I forgot with who, but Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah.
So that didn't happen.
Well, they're doing a big tribute to her. Ryan Reynolds is going to be involved, and a bunch of other big stars who were close and friends with her and all that. But if that wasn't enough, Dan, I mean, Sidney Poitier, amazing actor, broke boundaries. I think he may have been. Was he the first black actor to get to win an Oscar?
He was.
Yeah. I mean, just amazing.
In like 1964 or something like that.
I mean, he starred in amazing movies. Rest in peace, Sidney Poitier. And if that wasn't enough,
Most recently, too. Just
comic
happened.
legend, star of Full House, host of America's Funniest Home Videos, Bob Saget, also passed away.
Yeah.
So there you go. You know, if you thought 2022 was going to be any different, nope.
It never is every year.
Yeah. So rest in peace to everybody.
It's always a hard transition to talk about something
The
else.
showdown. I'm sorry, Dan. I brought the showdown.
So let's bring it up a little bit.
Okay.
There was a big leak that happened that claimed the next Mario Kart game is in the works, right? Which is a no brainer that they're working on that Mario Kart.
Yeah. They're always working on Mario Kart. Yeah.
But the leak is that it's not going to be called Mario Kart 9 because they're counting Mario Kart Tour as Mario Kart 9, right? That's the mobile
That's
game.
fair.
So it would either be called Mario Kart 10 or crossover, so with the X, and it would have a new feature of not just a feature, but it would be a crossover event like Smash Brothers and having other characters come in, right? I think that's awesome. Don't call it Mario Kart 10, call it Mario Kart Cross X crossover
Or Crossroads.
maybe
Crossroads. Yeah.
with Sonic Racing, right? That would be awesome.
I could see them doing something like that. I mean, they already have some crossover. They have the Inklings are in there. There's all the amiibo scans, so you can play as a Mii Pac-Man or a Mii Mega Man. So they've already been doing some of that. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. Calling it Crossroads or with the X and whatnot, I think would be a good idea. The one thing else.
But they've done some subtle things like that, right? The Smash Brothers 4 Wii U, right? The 4,
right.
Fourth version, right? So, so they've done that before.
The only thing I'll say about this is that this game is not coming out anytime in the near future or even in the next. I'm gonna go out and say like 2 years, because if you look at the charts. You look at the UK charts right now, the number one selling game is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. How? That game is a Wii U title from 15 or whatever it is. And obviously they ported it to the Switch, the deluxe version or whatever. But still,
all these new Switch owners need something to play. Come on.
Top selling game on the system. I have friends who have kids. They love Mario Kart. They're playing it like it came out yesterday. It is insane. It's an amazing game. Arguably the best one in the series. But
I would say this is a game that's going to be a launch title for the next Nintendo console, right? And analysts are already predicting that we're going to get the next console in 2024. Right?
Yeah.
So another holiday of 2024 is about 3 years, honestly.
Right. And that would be 7 years with the Switch. That would be over a generation is typically 5 to 6 years now.
True.
So that would be just over a generation.
But last year they said that they were halfway through the life cycle of the Switch. So they really want to push the Switch for 10 years.
Right.
So will we get a new hardware like a Switch Pro and then we'll get something totally different?
In the meantime, yeah. I mean, that may happen too, Everyone's still kind of everyone's hoping for that.
I still think the Switch Pro will be the new thing. So I think that's not going to come out until like 2024, 2025.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
They're going to milk this Switch thing for as long as they can. And
I mean, that's what they do.
And they're going to put out special edition Switches or Switch Lights. As once we start seeing all these special edition Switches come out, then we know it's going to end. Then we know that's like it's
always
ending.
it. We get the Pikachu version, the Animal Cross version, the Pac-Man version, the Mario version.
So I have the Nintendo. I have the 3DS, Super Nintendo, 3DS, and
it's classic.
You know what? that thing is worth like $700 right now, right? That's
Mhm.
crazy. And I have the box and everything.
Yeah.
Not sealed. Just
Okay.
if you want to buy it, it's like online. They go on for like $700.
Wow.
Crazy.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, let's put a kibosh on the news.
Mm-hmm.
The last news story I have, I think, this is
good,
hilarious.
That's a good
It's
start.
hilarious.
Yeah.
A music artist releases his full album on an N64 cartridge.
German musician Remute. I haven't heard of this guy before, but he's got a full album, 15 songs, on a N64 card. I'm assuming he got the mold of it and made some PCB mold or whatever the thing, and he's got his own little sticker on there. Hopefully, he didn't cannibalize any actual carts out there. But yeah, it's not the first time somebody has done it, but it is kind of awesome to see. It may be the first time that somebody's done an album on an N64 cart. I know there was a Nintendo guy, Sergio something or other, who put a whole album on a Nintendo card. Anamanaguchi, the chiptune band, put out, I think, a single on an NES cart, which is funny because they use NES and Game Boy sounds in their music. People have done albums on floppy disks, USB keys, all sorts of things. I'm sure there's some Super Nintendo ones out there. It's crazy, though. And it plays on the hardware, plays on the sound chip and all that stuff, right? Like,
So, name an artist that you like. Name an artist you really like. What's an artist you like? Name an artist you really like.
I like Tycho. He's a chill wave electronic guy.
Okay, so what if Tycho said, "You know what? My next album is going to be at 64."
100% I'd buy it. 100% I'd buy it.
You would buy it? You would buy it?
I'm upset I didn't buy the Anamanaguchi one because it was a limited edition. It was only 100 made. Right?
That would be awesome if Jay-Z said, "You know what? I'm putting my new album out on the SNES cartridge."
Yeah, right. That would be cool. I could see Kanye doing something like that. He would totally do that.
Yes, I wouldn't buy it though because I'm not a Kanye fan anymore. So
yeah, same. I think he fell off a couple albums ago. Fight us on that. Add us on Instagram. No, add us on Twitter. Add us on Twitter.
You can add, just add. Make sure you put when you add us. Just make sure you put Dave.
You just agreed with me. You said he fell off too. Come on now, we were both on that take.
Yeah, but no. You can add Dave.
It is not a hot take. It is not even a take. It is a cold take. It is a hard fact. His last album was trash. I mean,
whoa!
I wish that man the best. I'm sorry, Donta or whatever it was. Donda? No, sorry.
Wow.
Life of Pablo, also weird. I'm sorry.
I like the one or two songs.
Exactly. And the rest of it was hot garbage. It was just weird.
Wow.
It was weird.
Wow. Hot take.
Listen, man, we got to come strong for episode 300. We got to give the fans what they want. We got to give them a nice spicy episode.
All right. So, all right. So that's it for the news. Mm-hmm. Dave, got any plans for the next couple of days?
I got plans for the next couple of days. Got plans for the year. There's very exciting things are happening, Dan, in the Rotino household. But for the foreseeable future, I'm going to be playing through Life is Strange, finishing that up, and making my way through Halo Infinite because I'm trying to 100% that game. You heard it. You heard it here, folks. Single player, multiplayer, all the achievements, 100%. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
All right.
How about you?
I hope for the year, I hope to hit 5,000 games. I'm missing like 190 games right now to hit 5,000 for the collection.
Easy, Dan. That's easy. You got this. You'll hit it. You'll hit it before we get.
I got some other life plans. House. You never know.
I know. You'll get it. You'll get there.
Some little Robinsons, right? You never know, right? That takes precedent.
Oh, come on now.
But
there's still a lot of commons out there. You can get some good lots. Some stuff you don't have.
I got a lot of commons. I got a lot of stuff. I've been really only doing quality stuff.
Yeah,
but
I know.
I definitely for the immediate future, I want to beat Judgment. I really like that game. So I want to just jump into that and some more and just beat it. I can't wait. Now I'm waiting for Judgment 3. I want Judgment 3 to happen.
You think they're going to do it? I mean, Judgment lost the Judgment sold well enough, I think. People were about it. Yeah.
So
maybe we'll get an announcement this year at E3.
That's it.
All right. Well, that is episode 300 in the books, folks. That's crazy to think. 300 episodes. 6.5 years and counting, right? Is that right? We started in 2015, right? August 2015, I think.
Yeah. Late 2015.
It's been a while. It's been a great ride so far, and we're looking forward to the next 300 episodes. You know, we're definitely not stopping anytime soon, and we want to profoundly thank you guys because we couldn't do it without you, the fans. We want to thank you guys for listening to the show and liking and commenting and doing all the good stuff that you guys do. If you want to interact with us, and we know you do, let us know your thoughts on Kanye. Let us know your thoughts on everything we talked about in this episode. What you think is coming out in 2022. What we got right, what we got wrong. You can do it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. You can become a Patreon member at patreon.com/ratedg4gamers. For just $1, you can help support the podcast. We would love it if you do that. And finally, we are part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance, so you can check out all of the fine podcasts featured on there at gamingpodcastalliance.com if you're looking for more gaming goodness. So, please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
Keep gaming.